Last night, voters in Davenport made their choice on who they'd like to lead the city for the next 2 years. Former Alderman at Large Jason Gordon has been elected as the city's next mayor, and your local election headquarters is following the latest developments. In fact, we are delighted to be joined by Mayor-elect Gordon right now. Mayor-elect Gordon, thanks for being here.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
Of course. And we will start today with your reaction to last night and, of course, what you want to say to your voters.
Well, relief is the first reaction. The campaign was long. It was a grind, a lot of door knocking. But last night was a relief. I'm pleased with the results. And I guess my message to the voters is thank you. Everyone who voted, number one, and those who voted for me, thank you. And those who didn't vote for me, I want to prove myself as a mayor for you as well.
Yeah. So a lot of change is taking place in Davenport. We know that from both the makeup of the city government to even the streets that take people around downtown. What goes through your mind when you think about taking over that office and dealing with all that change that is now and ahead in the city?
I think be calm, be astute, listen. I think listen to your city council. Again, the city council are the true decision makers of the city government. They are the ones that vote. I don't get to vote. And so it's very important to me to know my council, to work with them closely, and understand their priorities, and then identify and align with those priorities that I can help them advance.
Obviously, you spent a long time campaigning and talking to the various citizens of Davenport. What have you heard from them in terms of what they want from city government? That's
a good question, and it's interesting because you kind of go into a campaign with some assumptions about what you think people are thinking about, or what's top of mind. Streets, public safety, crime. It's not unusual, right? Those are the things you heard about at the doors. Was I want my street fixed, I want the police and fire to be fully funded and fully staffed, and so yeah, they're what I would call, I guess, dinner table topics.
Certainly. So from your point of view, how would you grade the level of trust that the citizens of Davenport have with the city government? Obviously, we're talking about in the wake of things like the building collapse and some of the separation agreements with city employees. From your perspective, where is that trust and what needs to be done to try and start to build some of that up?
I don't think it's as bad as one might perceive. And I went into this campaign fully thinking that there was a trust issue, and I think there probably is. But I don't think it's maybe as intense as some folks want to think it is. Everything the city does has to be done transparently by law. And that's not to say that we shouldn't still strive for even more transparency, more trust, and more openness. But 98% of what we do has to be done in a forum that's open to the public by law, and we will continue to do that, obviously. But I think trust is kind of a gut thing, and I during the campaign I said, trust your gut on who you trust in this election, and I think, and I told people, ask your neighbors, ask people at church, ask people you work with, if you know Jason Gordon, you're going to find someone who knows me, and they're going to say he's trustworthy.
So you've had experience, of course, with the Quad Cities Chamber. So drawing on that, what needs to happen from Davenport's perspective to contribute to our entire area when it comes to moving forward economically?
That's a great question, too. So Davenport is far and away the largest of the Quad Cities. And I think it's important, number one, that we just function like a well-run, high-functioning city with a competent, strong city administrator, a strong mayor, and a strong city council, all working together. Now, working together doesn't mean that we all vote 10-0 every single time. That's not what I mean when I say we work together. But we resolve our conflicts and our differences in a way that's done in a professional and transparent manner. And if Davenport does well, the Quad Cities does well. And that's a big priority for me, because we're, as a Quad Cities, we're about 400,000 people. And if Davenport is functioning at a high level, and working cohesively with one another, we will do better as a region.
You mentioned one of your big priorities coming into this term. What are some of your main priorities that you and your office will be looking at as you move along here?
My eye, now that the election is over, I'm focused on economic growth and development. I think property tax reform is coming from Des Moines this next legislative session. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it could be a bad thing potentially. And I want to work closely with the governor and the legislature, the delegation that represents us in Des Moines that I have good relationships with, to get us a bill that delivers tax relief to property taxpayers, but also protects cities and public safety primarily. So, you know, I think relationships are key, and I've got a lot of strong relationships in that space.
All right, Mayor-elect Gordon, we appreciate your time, and best of luck, of course, moving forward.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And again, if you missed any part of this interview with the mayor-elect, we will have it for you on our website. That is ourquadcities.com.